Alright, so now we're on a Friday for our Tricky By Now slight wardrobe change. So now we're talking Hollywood Studios. So Etsy pin for SEA. This is the bounty hunter thing. So this is in my tactical dad vest with, like, it's, 7 pockets and all that. So this was our first time using Genie Plus. And early theme park entry was between 8 and 8:30. We got there at about 8:25 because the previous bus had just left. So we spent from 8:30 to 9 o'clock, which was when the park opened, standing in the ever-increasing funnels that Disney decided to do. Instead of having multiple lines open, it's like, we're going to have 6 lines to get through security. Awesome. And those 6 lines then break down into 4 spots to scan in with your Magic Bands. Awesome. So half an hour, I'm just kind of slowly moving my way forward. So what did we Genie Plus that day? Well, when we were there last time, Mickey and Minnie's, we didn't get a chance to ride it. My daughter wanted to go on it, so we set up one of those. And of course, I built a droid. My daughter therefore had to build a droid. So we now have 2 R2 units, and yes, if you live next to each other long enough without giving them commands, they will talk to each other. It's kind of neat. And of course, we needed more holocrons. And I was really looking forward to doing the Bounty Hunter game. So, when I got a Magic Band Plus, I couldn't get the Bounty Hunter one because it was constantly sold out, and I wanted one that looked more utilitarian. So I was able to just find a place that does little covers. So I then used the Mickey face. And this is also an Etsy buy as well. All the things I'll try to post links in the description. The first time I'm doing that. So most people went, oh, Apple Watch. I was like, no, Magic Band, I'm trying to pay for stuff. So, like all these things, the statues sucked. Didn't really do anything. So now the Bounty Hunter game. If you want to do that, be sure to bring your charging cable and a couple battery backups for it. Battery life on these things in standby, which means if you charge it and don't do anything with it, after about 3 days, it's dead. Every now and then I'm like, why is it flashing different colors? Oh, it's letting me know that its battery life is running low. So from fully charged to pretty much dead is about 3 days of not doing anything. If you're walking around the park doing stuff, you're probably okay, like interacting with statues and those sorts of things. The Bounty Hunter game, where this thing pretty much vibrates and glows the entire time, really, really just kills the battery life on this. I'm talking like, I think I had like several hours out of it. And I wasn't able to find a way, since they're both in the Disney app, of doing the regular BSO stuff and bounty hunting on the same phone. So you do one or the other. So, bounty hunting, really quick. You walk to the Bounty Hunter Guild, you scan your badge. If you did it the first time, it walks through, here's the whole process of it. It's like red, you're going the wrong way. Green, you're getting closer. Faster vibrates for green, closer. Fast vibrates for red, farther away. And then it goes purple. Once it goes purple, you then take your phone, activate your phone to do a thermal scan. Now the best thing is, this uses Disney's amazing job of location technology. So it occasionally said that I was standing in front of a door when I wasn't. And I don't know if the people occasionally move that you're trying to hunt, or if it's just like, oh, you're close, you're really far away now. I just turned a corner. And what you're looking for, of course, is this little symbol here, in like a yellow color, to let you know that this is where your bounty is supposed to be at. Actually, a lot of fun. I got through 10 bounties pretty quick. A few of them while my wife and daughter were building the droid, and I was like, it's actually kind of fun. I liked doing that. Best to describe it, if you ever did like Magic Quest, where go to the central hub, talk to somebody, like, I want you to go do this. You then run around for a while and then you find the person. Your first handful are, pretty low. Towards the end, I think my 10th one was almost 4,000 credits, which is a lot of credits, and most of them are like, 300 to 500. Another thing I did too for that day. So, tactical dad vest, because my daughter's too big for a stroller. So now anything you want to carry, you have to carry with you. It's also mentioned too, this was the day when it got down to about 50 degrees during the day, getting down to below 40 at night, with one small burst of rain. I pretty much had a short sleeve shirt and this, So I was like, it's probably going to be okay. It's Florida. Should be sunny enough. Then it was really overcast. Temperature dropped down. So I ended up having just a like foldable coat that I take with me in case it rains. And I was like, all right, well, good, they got this. Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railroad. It was nice. You know, my wife with her neck injury can't do a lot of really intense things. I'm like, okay, well, I already did Rise, and I'm not spending $50 on Rise. I'm not spending 2 hours in line for Rise. Already did Millennium Falcon. It's cool when there's 5 of you, because you can fill up the whole thing. When there's 3 of you, you're stuck with whoever else you're with, and I'm like, no, I'm good with that. Did Star Tours, which my wife hated, because she didn't feel secure where she was at, and her daughter loved it, thought it was great. We did Lightning Lane that because, you know, it had like a 40-minute line. And I'm like, I'm not waiting 40 minutes for Star Tours. It's like 10, 15, yeah, but not like 40, 50 minutes. No. Did the Frozen sing-along, which, I mean, yeah, the people who tell you the story do a really good job. I did, of course, Lightning Lane to meet Olaf, which my daughter loved because, you know, she likes Frozen. One of the funnier things, so when we went there last time, all the characters stayed far away. This time they could interact and walk around and do things. There was a little girl who hugged Chewbacca for about 6 minutes. And you just see this girl, first her head's buried in his chest. Then you're like, well, you see your face for a photo. And you just see the most, like, at peace look. And the person who's Chewbacca is just holding this little girl who's just nuzzling her head, you know, into his, you know, Wookiee chest. You know, guy who was in it was pretty cool. You know, I did a little bit of Shriwook with him, which I think he thought was pretty cool. So I got, you know, there's lots of handshakes. I got the handshake and like the hug. I'm like, why do you get a hug? I'm like, I yelled at in Shriwook. My daughter's dressed up as Rey. So the photos of her and Rey are pretty cute. What we also did is I was doing the bounty hunter thing when I got a custom badge holder and, of course, a custom badge. I don't know how else is going to show up with this because of the glare and all that from cameras and stuff. So I actually had to go through the process of, you know, that's going to show up. So custom badge. Because, you know, if they're walking around, they're going to start asking questions. Like, well, I want them to look authentic. Just got one for my wife, which, of course, is the Halcyon. Which made some of the Disney cast members go like, oh, you're on the Halcyon too? I was like, no, we're former passengers. I'm not spending $6 grand on that. So we did one for my wife. So, again, I'll link these things in the description. These actually were custom made to fit these things. My daughter, of course, Ahsoka fan. And she wanted hers to be, you know, all rebellion and all that, so. And that was just a ton of fun. Really interesting seeing the people who are from the Halcyon with the Halcyon bands trying to do the Bounty Hunter game. And it's like, yes, even though you've spent like $2,000 a person, your band does not work on this game. They're like, oh, it should. I was like, it should. Like, unless they don't want bounty hunters on the Halcyon. And a few people kind of thematically laughed at it. Others were like, shut up and leave me alone. I want to play the game. What I also did too, since, yes, I did get myself a hit bag because, you know, pockets. Amazon, not going to put a link or anything specific. But what I was able to find on Etsy were these actually really nice Serbian leather military pouches. I'll post a link for those. So I had, you know, three of those giant guys to go along with the vest that's got functionally spots for 7 things on it, and a backpack to carry things, because, you know, we wanted to get the spork, so we got the actual metal spork. I ate at Docking Bay 7 because that's one of the better places to eat. Did go to Oga's. Oga's checked in like 5 minutes before our reservation, and then waited for 20 minutes to get a spot at the bar, which my daughter hated because she's like, I want to sit down. There's no place to sit, that's a lounge. And we were on the opposite side of DJ Rex. Neat place, really atmospheric. You know, I think I did my wife did a punch it because we're not drinkers. I did a Blurg fire because I like spicy drinks, and my daughter did the blue bantha milk with the cookie. She added the cookie. All right. I really like the Katsaka's kettle. We did the blue stuff because only I would eat a sweet and spicy mix. Cool thing is you actually can use the refillable popcorn bucket for it. I'm like, oh, had I known that, I probably would have focused more on getting one. So, you know, it was really cool. We actually all decided that if we were going to do this again, you know, and we couldn't do all the parks, Hollywood Studios would probably hit because the Star Wars land is just, it's really cool to walk into. I like the blocked off sight lines. A lot of stuff to do. We did a lot more just looking around at stuff. When I wouldn't feel like doing the bounty hunting thing because my band wasn't charged up, did the other stuff, you know, like scanned crates and all that. It's a really nice, interesting land. Talked with Fi Marati a few times, which is weird because when you see her, I'm like, just let you know there's some FO going that way. And she was like, what? I was like, FO. Again, I'm like, first order troopers were heading that way, so don't go down that alley. Oh, okay. And I was like, just finished listening to the book that Disney and Star Wars kicked out, where you referred to it as FO. It's first order. So, Kylo walked around a little bit, and it was kind of neat. But you see the people who were there from the Halcyon, because then, you know, I'm there in, you know, like this, a bunch of pockets, like I'm a Rob Liefeld character from Star Wars. And it was like, oh, I feel really underdressed for the people who show up in, you know, full-on gear. But I will say, given how cold it was, I was like, man, Jedi got that figured out wearing robes with hoods. It's a pretty good idea.